Hello, this is question 7 on your June 2022 paper 2 from Edexcel, and you have a binomial expansion. So you have to find the first four terms in ascending powers of x of this expansion here, writing each term in its simplest form. So the first thing you have to do for these GR13 questions where your exponent is not natural, it's a real number, and we are going to use, this is the formula booklet, so we are going to use this formula. Yeah, so we need to have 1 plus something. So we have to change this coefficient to 1. So let me show you how we do that. So this expression here, so for a, I have square root of 4 minus 9x, which means I have 4 minus 9x to the power of 1/2. That's why I have to use that formula and not the GR12 formula. But I need a 1 here. So what I'm going to do is factorize. I'm going to get the 4 outside. I'm going to divide everything by 4 and write a 4 at the front. But that 4 goes to the power of 1/2 as well. Yeah, if I get that out of the bracket and the bracket has an exponent, that number goes to that exponent. Yeah, so I divide everything by 4. I write the 4 outside, but as I have a 1/2, the bracket goes to the 1/2, but the 4 goes to the 1/2 as well. Yeah, so and now I can expand that using the formula. So 4 to the power of 1/2, just for easiness, is going to be 2 because it's the square root of 4, and I can write that. And then I expand the bracket. So if you use the formula, and again I show you, is 1 plus nx, n minus 1 to factorial x squared, and so on. So that's what we are going to use, is 1 plus nx, n is the 1/2, so the exponent, and x is what I have here together with the sign. So if it's negative, I'm going to write the negative. So all times by 9/4 x. And I would write, to not make mistakes, I would write everything with the brackets and then I will remove brackets after. Then plus, I have n times n minus 1. So n is 1/2, 1/2 minus 1 is minus 1/2, divided by 2 factorial, and all times by x, again, is all this expression, to the power of 2. And I need first 4 terms. So we have 1, 2, 3, we need 1 more. Plus n minus 1, n minus 2, divided by 3 factorial, and my x to the power of 3. All together. Yeah, so these are my first 3 terms. And I would write from the beginning these two, so these two multiplying, so I don't forget. Yeah, and then I again leave the 2, and I'm going to write all these with the calculator. So 1, then it's going to be minus because I have minus. I have 1/2 times 9/4, which is 9/8 times x. I do this with the calculator easily, so I have 1/2 times minus 1/2 divided by 2 factorial and multiplied by minus 9/4 squared. This is going to be minus 81 over 128 x squared, and again I do the last one with the calculator is negative again, and I have 729 divided by 1024 multiplying x cubed, and then I multiply by 2. That's the last bit. So when I multiply by 2, I have 2 minus 9/4 of x minus 81 over 64 x squared minus 729 512 x cubed. So this could be my binomial expansion. Yeah, this is the first part. Then a student uses this expansion with x equals 1/9 to find an approximation for root 3. Because when x is 1/9, we have 9 times 1/9 is 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So that's why we can use x 1/9. Using the answer to part A and without doing any calculations, we have to decide if it's an overestimate or an underestimate of root 3. So what we are doing here is, if we are able to do this expansion and write all the terms, absolutely all, we will have the real value of root 3. But we are not doing that. What we are doing is just using the first 4 terms. Yeah. So if we use this expression to estimate root 3, we have to think if that would be less or more than the actual value of root 3. So if you see this expression, all these are negative. The next one is going to be negative because we always have or something to an odd power, and these are cancelled, or something that is negative with a positive power. So all these terms are going to be negative. In fact, this one, this last would be negative as well. So all of them would be negative, which means if we approximate and we stop here, we are missing some numbers subtracting. Yeah, so our value is going to be slightly higher because we are missing some numbers subtracting. Yeah, so it's going to be an overestimate. We don't need to do the calculations. It says without doing any calculation, just decide if it's overestimate or underestimate. So that's the only thing that you have to write. It's an overestimate because you are missing some numbers subtracting. So you can give that brief reason. Overestimate, we are missing more negative terms. And that's it. Yeah, that would be enough reason for that. And that's all with this question.